Well, residential prices held for the most part. Acreage prices dropped. Sales dropped from the previous month, but are up for the year. Follow me so far? Hi, I'm Brent MacIntosh. I'm the team leader at the MacIntosh Group at RE/MAX River City. And I've got the stats for July of 2021, and this is my monthly market update. Let's start with values. The single family median sales price for July of 2021 ended up being at $425,000. In June, it was $426,000. So it only dropped $1,000 in those past 30 days. But compare it to a year ago, July of 2020, it was $401,000. So it's still up quite a bit from a year ago. Where do we go from here? It's probably going to start dropping from now until the end of the year. Let me explain here shortly. Condo prices. At the end of July, the median sales price was $222,000. That's, again, a drop of $1,000 from June of 2021. When we look back of July of 2020, it was $205,000. So it's still quite a bit higher than a year ago. Acreage prices, well, there's less acreage sales that happen in comparison to condo and single family homes. So you can see a bigger sway in prices. And so the median sales price for July of 2021 ended up being $612,500. Compare that to June, where it was $672,500. So quite a huge drop in those prices, as we saw quite a bit less acreages sell in July of 2021. A year ago, well, that number was $506,500, so it is quite a bit higher. Sales. Now, our sales dropped about 20% from June to July. Totally normal. That happens every single year, and in fact, each month between now and the end of the year, sales will drop at least 10%, if not 20% every single month. From month to month. So we had 1,325 sales for single family homes in July of 2021. Compare that to 1,676 in June. So there's the drop. Totally normal, that 20 to 25% drop in sales. July of 2020, we had 1,354. So we have literally the exact same amount of sales of July 2020 to July 2021. Condo sales, there were 547 sales versus 680 in June of this year. Compare that to a year ago, we had 493. So that number is identical to the number a year ago. Acreage sales, this is where we saw a drop in the amount of acreages that sold, seeing that median sales price drop. Only 130 acreages in the Edmonton area sold in July of 2021. Compare that to June, where there was 155 that sold, and compare it to July of 2020, more of the beginning of the pandemic, where we saw 173 acreage sales. Listings, that's where we're seeing quite a bit of rise, comparatively speaking. In fact, 2,000 more single family listings already that have happened this year in 2021. So there was 1,931 properties listed in July of 2021. Compare that to 2,355 in last year, and in June of this year, and only 1,813 last year. So our listings are a little bit down from June. Again, totally normal. Between now and the end of the year, we're going to see less and less listings, and I'll explain that here shortly again. Condos, there was 1,071 new condos put on the market in July. Compare that to June, where there was 1,299, and last year, 933. Again, kind of standard, the numbers we're seeing that were down from June, but up from last year. Acreages, 168 new acreages listed compared to 246 in the month before. And compare that to July of last year, there was 229. Total residential sales. There's already been 15,700 residential sales. And to put this in perspective, last year, at the same time, we only had 10,500. So we already have 5,000 more sales this year. In fact, by the end of this month here, August, we're going to surpass all of the numbers for the previous 5 years for sales. So record high sales. But as I've just talked about, there's also been quite a few more listings than previous years too. So we're seeing both more homes for sale and more homes actually selling in the Edmonton market. If you're a seller, you still have time to sell, but you're running out of time. Each month there's going to be less sales. So if you're thinking about selling, well, September and October are still really good months to do that. So give us a call immediately. We can come. We can talk about value and the best ways to get the most value for your house and some of the things that you should focus in on to get the house ready. If you're a buyer, well, the market is obviously going to start favoring you more and more as some of the sellers get more motivated. The only thing that the buyers have to watch out for is that inventory will start to decline between now and December. Any questions, or if you know somebody who'd like to buy or sell, please give us a call. We're at 780-464-0075. Enjoy the rest of your summer. Thank you so much for watching.